Everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Commute.
I'll be your driver.
And I'll be your passenger. So we have today earthworms raining down from the skies of Norway. There's this woman who was skiing in a mountain in Norway, and she saw these worms on top of the snow. So she assumed at first that they had just crawled up from the ground through the snow.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
But everywhere she was, there was 1.5 to 3 feet of snow. And they said worms can't crawl through snow that high.
Oh, okay.
She thought they were dead, and she picked them up and saw they were alive.
Huh.
So no one saw it raining worms, but scientists are saying that is the explanation. They think they got picked up in a storm somewhere and blew over and came back down. Which you've heard, I mean, they've talked about that with frogs before. You know, when they say it was raining frogs.
Yeah.
It's really tadpoles, like smaller frogs, and they get picked up in these tornadoes or storms or whatever because they're so light.
Yeah.
They just blow out to another area, and it seems like it's raining. But worms.
It's weird, man. I'd never heard of that.
I can deal with raining frogs, but worms slapping in the face. This wouldn't do any good. Then we got a North Carolina prison escapee turns himself in after 40 years.
Yeah, you showed me that one. That's no way.
No, fuck no.
I mean,
they had no idea this guy escaped. So he escaped like a youth penitentiary. Let's say it's youth penitentiary, but he's 66 now. Hope Youth Institute in 1972. So it's been 43 years. He's 66 now. So I don't know what a 23-year-old's doing in a youth institute. But anyway, they never caught him. They never had a clue where he was. And he said he had to turn himself in to make it right.
Make it right. I mean, like, you spent your entire life, like 2/3 of your life, lying about who you are.
Yep.
I mean, completely.
People dream about that, you know?
Yeah.
He said he even got into a car accident at one point, and when the paramedics showed up and the police, he didn't get caught because he gave him a fake name and happened to have no ID on him at the time. So they were just like, oh, okay, you know, they wrote the stuff down as information, and, you know, you're fine, be on your way. But he thought he was going to get arrested then, but they didn't push the issue. Now, they said they took him out of his home in a stretcher, so I'm wondering if, like, he's dying and his guilt is getting to him.
And he had to be buried under his right name?
You know, maybe. So, now, they didn't say where they picked him up from, but they said, oh, I'm sorry, it was Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, right.
So they said if he fights extradition, they're going to, you know, press all these extra charges on him. But they said if he doesn't fight it, they'll just have him finish out his sentence. He only had 2 more years to go. He was going to be released in 74?
What was that? I thought it was
76.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had 4 more years to go.
Right.
Still, I would never turn. 15,654 days he was free.
I don't know.
Like, wow, man. Do they have to extradite you from state to state? I thought they just could fucking take you.
No, it depends, like, what the, you know, charge is. Like, if say, Kentucky had something on him, and it was, like, a greater charge than he was charged with wherever else, I think they'd charge him there, and then he'd get the maximum sentence. I don't know.
Gosh, I had a fucking seatbelt ticket I got in Ohio years ago, and I was like, yeah, right, like, I'm never going to pay this. See, and I ripped it up and threw it out. And a couple months later, I get a letter in the mail saying that they were like a sister state to Pennsylvania, and if I didn't pay it, they were going to send the PA cops after me, put a warrant out for my arrest. I'm like, for a fucking seatbelt ticket?
Yeah.
So I paid it in change.
Yeah, you did that thing?
Big old thing of change, you know, the water bottle. I paid that bitch in change. I went to the police station. I said, here, count it. Motherfuckers. But yeah, dude, I mean, I just think he should have lived that. I mean, who knows what old age and death does to you.
I guess,
if he was dying, but...
What?
I want to make a video before I die and give it to my family and say, send this to them after I die.
Right.
You know,
something. Write a letter.
Yep.
You know, and...
I would have even thought that at this point, they're just like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Don't fight extradition. Let us bring you back, bring you in jail for like a day.
What was the crime, originally? I don't think it said.
It did not say. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing, too. And I mean, maybe that's not a good example. Like, look, if you escape from prison and you manage to make it for a while, you're free.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try. Try all you want.
But, I mean, shouldn't there be something said for him not having committed a crime again? Like, should they update his sentence to
I mean,
some kind of community service?
He proved he was a good person, or at least didn't commit any crimes. Turned himself in. Mm-hmm. They had no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, something.
I would think commuted to and who knows? Maybe that's what they do. We don't. You know,
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, maybe we'll follow up on it.
Don't know what the precedent is for that kind of thing.
It all depends on the judge too.
Yeah.
And they're looking at this car. This one's sitting here for weeks.
Like 2 fucking weeks. This car's been here.
I think they put the white rag in it, like they were going to come back for it, and they just never did. Here we go. A woman eats 13.5 pounds of steak plus her sides in under 20 minutes.
Oh, God.
Dude.
Is that one of those competition things?
Molly Schuyler.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure she's the woman that won Wing Bowl a couple of years ago, or last year.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure, because that name sounds familiar. Otherwise, I don't know why I would know it. Mm-hmm. Last year, she sets a record. She ate like 2 steaks in like under 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. So this year, they set her up against 4 teams of 2 people for a competition. Now, so the teams, 2 people teams, they added their shit up together against her. It was essentially 2 against 1, 2 against 1.
She still crushed them.
And she still crushed them. There's 3 steaks this time. She set a new record for her first steak. She ate it in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. But here's the thing, she weighs 124 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think your size has anything to do with it. Because, like, wasn't that, there was that real tiny, like, Asian girl that, like, she won the hot dog things?
Yeah, the
hot dog
Black
eating
Widow
contest?
or something they call her.
Yeah. She was real tiny,
She won Wing Bowl 1 year, too. She won a couple of years, probably like 10 years ago now.
I can't remember her name.
But, actually, you're better off with eating competitions the skinnier you are.
Yeah.
Because you don't have fat pushing down on your stomach, so your stomach can expand. But that's like, they said it was something like 11 or 12% of her body weight.
Jeez.
So,
I don't know, man.
13.5 pounds of steak plus sides. The sides included a baked potato, shrimp cocktail, and a side salad. Dude, a baked potato alone. You know, and shrimp. I mean, it's not filling, but it's not light.
And she ate 3 of those meals. So 3 baked potatoes, not just 3 steaks.
Yeah, each came, you're right, each came with a baked potato.
So that's 3 baked potatoes.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
That's insane.
Now I can see abusing hot dogs. That's pig anus. Abuse the hell out of that. That's fine. But steak, come on, dude. Steak is good.
How long do you think she went before eating again?
Before eating again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's gotta be 2 days.
Not until she shat again. I mean,
imagine that.
God.
Imagine that thing that comes out.
You don't want to be
like a meat monster.
Ugh.
Let's see. Does it say anything else about her? It says she comes to these things expecting to fail, but if she does succeed, it's a lovely parting gift. Plus, she also gets free steaks.
Whatever, dude. Don't do that to steaks.
20 minutes.
Do it to wings. Do it to hot dogs. Don't defile steaks, man.
Yeah, I'm for it. It's a tough thing. Not that I'm going to eat my steak that way.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking impressed.
Sure, that's impressive.
That's a lot of steak to eat.
To me, that borders on abuse. Steak is good.
Animal abuse?
Yeah.
Steak enough abuse. We killed it and we're eating it.
See all that thing, like, with the, all the back and forth with, like, Ricky Gervais and him, like, tweeting about the people, like, shooting giraffes and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think these people have nothing else to complain about.
Like who?
Like the famous people. You know what I mean? Like, they feel like they got to get behind something.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I might like you as an actor or a comedian or a performer or whatever it is you do. I'm not going to get behind your cause just because you're you. You know what I mean? Like, just go make a fucking movie or a fucking guy. Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I get why they do it.
Right, you get the point of it, but not. I'm not going to sign up just because you're telling me to.
No, exactly. I've never done that. I think we talked about that before. Like, advertising never worked on me. Like, I've never been the type like, oh, I have to get that now because so and so said. But companies pay millions of dollars to these people. It must work.
Yeah, it does.
Advertising must work.
And like it or not, to whatever degree, it does work on you, man. There's shit targeted for you out there to buy certain things and
there's stuff
to get
targeted at me, and I'm sure it reaches me, and
I
see it, so I buy it.
Right.
But I'm saying like celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Like to me, you're wasting your money.
That's not selling.
If you're paying Bob Dylan to sell me a fucking meal at Fridays,
right?
You just wasted a bunch of money. Just show me the fucking food. If it looks good, I'll come eat it.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
same thing. Even and I love women as much or more than the next guy, but like sexy women in commercials doesn't make me want to.
Yeah, go buy whatever extra or go to a restaurant.
Yeah. Like I don't. It's just like show me your product. If it looks like it's fucking worth a damn.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
But that's not, in those cases, those aren't the people they're trying to sell it to.
No, yeah, I guess everybody's different.
Yeah, they're trying to get whatever demographic they're advertising to. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the hunting thing, like, who they need to go after is, like, the people running these preserves that are letting these people go and hunt on them. I mean, there's that one, there's like a really good documentary by what's his name, Louis Theroux, and where he goes to one of these game preserves and he's like interviewing the people that run them and stuff. He goes to a bunch of different ones, and that's almost all of the animals you see, like how you picture like an African safari and all that stuff. They all live on preserves. All those things, those animals are bred to be on those preserves, and they breed them to like hunt them. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid thing, and they shouldn't do it. But like, I don't know. There's so much money tied up in it, where it's an industry now.
Are you saying chimpanzees are people?
I am not.
Are you sure?
No. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Let's go ahead.
So let me find it here. I'm gonna skip back. I don't think we're gonna get to it, but it just segued so well.
It did.
No. Okay, so did a court just recognize chimpanzees as legal persons? It depends who you ask. So there's these two chimpanzees. The fuck were their names? I'll come across it eventually.
Yeah.
But they're attorneys for a non-profit legal advocacy group, Non-Human Rights Project, are asking the New York Supreme Court to release the chimpanzees Hercules and Leo, held in a lab at a public university. They're saying that since they have human-like qualities, they can think, they can act, they have emotions, that we shouldn't be performing on them. So, for the first time ever, a court said, well, we'll have a hearing about this. So they give them the trying to grant them legal personhood. Therefore, if they are persons, they have to be free from captivity because of human-like intelligence, self-awareness, and social complexity. They want them to be dispatched to a primate sanctuary in Florida. Okay, so they order a writ of habeas corpus to be signed by the judge. Well, to get a writ of habeas corpus, it says that can only be presented to legal persons.
Right.
So because these chimpanzees got this writ of habeas corpus, they are legal persons.
De facto legal persons.
Yeah, so they're people.
You know what though? And for as much as I don't approve of like monkeys as pets. I really don't. You know what? If it gets them out of that situation, cool. You know, that's good. Like, I got sympathy for, they shouldn't be testing crap on animals and stuff. There's plenty of people who would volunteer to do it.
I think it depends on the animals.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I mean,
like a fucking snake, they should test everything on snake. They should test AIDS and cancer on snakes. Fuck a snake in the fucking face. I hate a fucking snake. You can test anything on those bastards. Nah, but like monkeys, I mean, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Even like when I was in college, I worked at a DuPont facility, and they had like rabbits in cages, like in the back, you know, and they would test makeup on them. So there'd be all these like hoard up rabbits in the back because they got to leave it on them for so long to see if they break out in rashes and shit. And they had like all this eyeshadow and it was like the most surreal thing. Because these rabbits, you know, rabbits would sit there and like do their fucking thing. They had like all this makeup on, like all, and someone just have one product on them, and someone just be all done up, like when Bugs Bunny dresses up. Like
that's what I'm picturing in my head. Like fake wigs on them.
I mean, it's funny. You know, it's wrong, but it's funny. It really is. But nah, I mean, yeah, I get it. As far as like these safari things,
well, I mean, here's another thing with the chimps is, I mean, how much do we consider like corporations to be legal people?
True.
And you know what? I'd take a monkey over any corporation to be a legal person any day of the week.
I'm just trying to think, like the safari. Yeah, I hate to see anyone get shot, killed, whatever, especially if it's in a painful way. But don't they kind of have a good life until then? Like, they're not in cages, they're not being tested on.
I don't know. I mean,
they're going to get chewed up by something anyway, right?
Yeah, but like the back and forth with this thing was like, you know, there's a real funny picture. Like it's like I don't know. Did you see the picture of her like laying down next to the giraffe, like smiling and stuff? He's got like there's a picture of him like laying on the ground, like all cross-eyed and stuff, laying next to like a bowl of tofu. With like, it's fucking hilarious. Like it's like the exact same picture except next to like a bowl of tofu.
That's pretty funny. But no, you're right though. I mean, to your original point, they have to go after the corporations, not the.
You go after the
you know?
industry that makes people want to go on a safari and shoot a giraffe in the face.
Right, go out and shoot targets. You know what I mean? Have one of these things where they pop fake animals out from behind a tree.
Yeah,
you know. Like,
I mean, what kind of gratification are you getting from like shooting a giraffe or something? Like, I don't know. I mean, and we have like family and stuff they're hunters and stuff, and they do that kind of stuff all the time. You know, they go up into like Canada and Alaska and hunt bears and stuff. And I mean, I understand hunting from like the population control wise with like deer and that kind of thing, but the tragic part of that is that the reason why they're like a pest and out of control is a human created condition.
Sure, we've pushed them into smaller areas.
Yeah, we've created
But what if you eat the animal and you use as much of it as you can?
Exactly, and what benefit do you get? Is that better than cutting its head off and putting it on the wall? You know, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can still do that even as long as you ate the thing and made a blanket out of its fur and
I don't know.
Did whatever. You can't do anything with the face. Yeah. You could have used that face for something, you know. You could have made some deer face stew.
Some giraffe.
And people go, well, you shouldn't have to kill it. You should just go to the grocery store. Well, look how those animals are treated, you know.
Yeah, even worse. You know?
That's a nightmare. I'd rather someone get it from a safari or from the wild than... Because I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm not going to eat meat. I'm going to eat some fucking meat.
Yeah, I mean, hypocritically,
you know what I mean?
It's like,
yeah.
I love steak, you know, I love chicken.
Body craves it. You go so long without red meat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it a lot, and is it wrong for me to enjoy stuff like that? And, you know,
no, because you're human. Because that's what you're supposed to eat.
Yeah, it's not a. It's an issue that's not.
That's the weird thing
white.
about being human, because like I couldn't kill him, but I'm certainly going to eat the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
you know, it's a weird thing. So, all right, well, that'll do it for this episode of The Commute. Send us an email about anything we talked about at thecommutepodcast@comcast.net. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Follow us on Twitter @DriverPassenger. Hope to see you soon.